I'm Babita Mahara and welcome back to my channel Life in Portugal. So, I am Nepali and I moved here in 2023. So, if you like cultural comparison, expert life, and honest take, hit subscribe. So, today we compare school, freedom, tech, activism, and I will tell you which side I envy more. So, for giving you a quick roadmap, first I'm gonna talk about education and career, then lifestyle and freedom. After that, it will be tech and trends, and the next will be activism and freedom. I will finish with personal stories and what both worlds can learn from each other. So in Nepal, I grew up hearing just three words. Number one, doctor. Number two, engineer. And number three, go abroad. So for many Nepali Gen Zs, education is not just a personal learning, it's about survival, family pride, and often a escape. So let me explain. In Nepal, family put massive importance on grades and competitive exams. So from young age, kids are pushed for tuition classes, extra coachings, and endless practice papers. So parents and society believe education is only the ticket out of poverty or is only the way to gain respect. For some families, it's only the way to make their children to prove their children better than others. And honestly, the system is tough. Students face insane competition, and even sometimes they feel that their worth is only tied to exam results. So I know this from the first hand. I did my master's in business, and like other Nepali students, I had to feel the constant pressure. What next? Where do I go from here? For us, staying in Nepal often means limited job opportunities, and the system doesn't always reward talent the way it should. That's why I decided to move abroad. I went to Denmark for masters in international business, and that was eye-opening. The whole system of education in Denmark felt different, less about memorizing theories but more about applying ideas, debating, working in a group, and building real world skill. Honestly, it felt like a freedom compared to the rigid system I had in my back home Nepal. Here in Portugal, I see the similar approach to Denmark. Students have choices, vocational courses, creative fields, tourism, IT, and none of these are looked down upon. Success isn't defined by only 2 or 3 prestige careers. So it's also common for Portuguese Gen Z to work part-time during their study. They gain independence early on their own money and also learn life skills. Whereas back in Nepal, parents usually say, don't get distracted, just study. So the opportunity of independence in Nepal come later, if at all. So as a Nepali who have studied in both Nepal and Denmark, I can see the contrast so clearly. Back home in Nepal, many of my friends still are under stress for exams, family expectation, and no second chance. In Denmark and Portugal, students are free to experiment, fail, and try again. And that freedom builds confidence. It shapes the generation that are not afraid to take risks. While in Nepal, Nepali Gen Zs play it safe because they can't simply afford failures. So education is just the first big difference, but what happened after school? So there's come lifestyle and freedom. And trust me, there is also another huge contrast. So education is one part of our life, but what about freedom? How much independence do a young Nepali people get in Nepal compared to Portugal? So this is where I can see the biggest cultural shock. Well, family bond is everything. We live with our family and it's very normal to share a same house with siblings, parents, and sometimes grandparents. So there is a love and support, but also some rules. As a Gen Z in Nepal, freedom often feels limited. If you are a guy, you still have to answer questions like where are you going, who are you with, and why are you late. But if you are a girl, rules are more stricter. Coming home after dark, traveling alone, and dating openly can be judged by family and society. So yes, family closeness is beautiful, but independency is delayed. So many Nepalese only start feeling the freedom or independency only when they come abroad. And I experienced this myself during my master's in business studies in Nepal. I was in my mid 20s, but also I need to explain each and everything to my family, what time I'm coming home, what I'm doing in my weekends, and also my career plan. And I'm not complaining. This is our culture, and that's how our parents protect and guide us. Sometimes it makes you feel that you are not fully living your own, like waiting for permission to make decisions that should be yours. Then I moved to abroad, first in Denmark, now in Portugal, and wow, the difference is huge. Most young people move out at 18 or 19. They live with their friends or their partners. They cook their own meals, they pay their own rents, and they manage their own life. If they want to go abroad, they will go. If they want to date, they will not hide it. And if they want to switch the career, then nobody says what will the society think. So this freedom will build confidence, and Portuguese Gen Z grow up knowing how to manage money, time, and responsibility early. So this independence shapes how they see the world. So for me, Denmark was my first taste of independence. Suddenly, I need to pay the bills, I have to cook the food, I need to plan my studies, and have to survive my own. It was scary and exciting at the same time. I learned about myself more in 1 year in abroad rather than in my back homes in past years. So now in Portugal, I can see that young people are growing with this freedom naturally, and I think what if the Nepali Gen Z get this opportunity back home? Imagine how much talent and creativity would explode if they do not have to worry any kind of social judgment all the time. Family in Nepal gives love and support, but it also delays independency, whereas in Portugal, independency is expected and it shapes Gen Z into more confident and self-reliant individuals. And while lifestyle and freedom are different, that's one thing that connect both worlds so strongly. That is technology and social media. So that's what we are going to talk next. So if there is one thing Gen Zs around the world has common is technology. From TikTok dances to Instagram reels or late night YouTube binges, technology has been a huge part of our life. But the way Nepali Gen Z and Portuguese Gen Z use technology, that's very different. So in Nepal, internet access is improving, but it's still not perfect. So Wi-Fi can be slow, data is expensive, and power cuts get down most of the time. So for young people in Nepal, getting online is complicated than just opening your phone. Here is the interesting thing. With that limitation, Nepali Gen Zs are super creative. They don't have the fastest internet, but still they can find the way to use TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube to share their content, run their business, and connect with the world. And some of the viral Nepali TikTok are filmed with simple phone in ordinary place, but the creativity is amazing. So I still remember when I was studying in Nepal and when I wanted to watch online lectures or upload videos, then the internet could lag and it felt like it was impossible. Even downloading the study material was taking forever. But we adapted using cafe with Wi-Fi, downloading our videos at night time when the data was cheaper, and sharing our notes via USB, and that was totally normal for us. It teaches me patience, and I started appreciating internet much more when finally I moved to the abroad. Now here in Portugal the story is different. Internet access is very fast, affordable and everywhere. So Gen Z here in Portugal grows up with Spotify, gaming, social media, online shopping all at their fingertips. So that means Portuguese Gen Zs are up to date with global trends. And the meme starts in US shows up here the same day. They can now stream lectures, join online classes, or even start a digital business without any barriers. So technology is not a challenge, but it's a tool. So when I moved to Denmark, later Portugal, I was shocked how easy everything was. Want to upload a video, done in a second. Want to stream the lectures, high quality lectures, no buffering. Want to start your YouTube channel? The only limit is the creativity, not your internet speed. I've seen how much more confident Gen Zs are here in using technology, not only for entertainment but for opportunities, freelancing, activism, e-commerce, and also for coding and the remote job. So these are the things young people are using as a path here in Portugal. So here is the contrast. Nepalese Gen Zs are fighting against limitation but still growing and doing amazing things, whereas Portuguese Gen Zs grows up with no barriers and find more further technology to grow further, and both are as inspiring because one shows the resilience whereas another shows the innovation. And this difference in technology connects directly to how each generation sees the future. In Nepal, it's often about survival and fighting for change, whereas in Portugal, it's about freedom, right, and improving the quality of life. And what we are going to talk in next session about activism and future outlook of Gen Zs. Let's talk about activism and the future. So this Gen Z isn't about only making memes and TikTok dances. So this generation, whether in Nepal or Portugal, are deeply aware about the challenges happening around them. But the issue they fight for is very different. So in Nepal, Gen Z grows up seeing political instability, corruption, unemployment, and migration. So most of the young people feel frustrated because they study hard, but the opportunities are limited. So that's why Nepali Gen Z is often turned into activists. You can see them in protest on social media, or demanding for government, demanding for jobs, or demanding for the justice. For Nepali Gen Z's, activism is not just for optional, but it's for survival. It's about making their voice raised to be heard in the system that often ignores youth. So even online, Nepalese Gen Z use social media platforms like TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter to call out for corruption or to talk about the changes. You can feel the urgency posts like, if you don't fight now, then the future will be same like past. I've also felt this too when I was in Nepal and my friend circle used to say that they wanted to leave the country not because they wanted to, but because they do not have any choice. And when your own country make you feel that your dreams are too big for it, then it's really hurts. While moving to abroad, I still follow what's happening in my country, Nepal. And honestly, I admire young people are still standing up, protesting and not giving their hope. So this spirit are really very, very powerful. So meanwhile in Portugal, Gen Zs fight for different things. Here the basic like job education, and stability are more secure. So the activism focus on other issues like climate change, LGBTQ plus rights, mental health, gender equality, and housing cost. Portuguese changes are not just surviving, but they are also pushing the society to evolve. They march for the environment, they talk openly about the mental health, and they also challenge the traditional norms. So, the activism is about creating a better and inclusive world. Living here, I can see that how much young people are confident in expressing themselves. They don't wait for any permission to speak out. They understand that their voice matters and the society also listen it. That's a big contrast in Nepal where the youth voice are very strong but the leaders often ignore it. In the big picture, Nepalese Genjis are fighting for survival and opportunities, whereas the Portuguese Genjis are fighting for freedom and rights. So both are warrior on their own way, but on different battlefields. And as someone who lives in both worlds, I believe that if these two generations could learn from each other, is that Nepal can learn the freedom from Portuguese and the Portuguese can learn the resilience from Nepalese Genji. Together they could create a global Genjis and that is unstoppable. So what about you? Are you Genjis from Nepal, Portugal or from somewhere else? What issue matter most for you and your generation? Share in the comment. I would love to hear your story. So we have seen many contrasts like Nepalese Genji fighting for survival and opportunity, whereas Portuguese Genjis are enjoying freedom but also pushing the society for change. So different challenges, different lifestyle, but the same energy and both want a better future. So as someone who lived in both realities, I feel like I carry two worlds inside me, like discipline and resilience of Nepal and the freedom and openness of Portugal. And honestly, that mix makes me feel like Genjis everywhere has something very, very powerful to share each other. So we just see that the Genjis in Nepal and Portugal are so different and so similar in spirit. So honestly, this is just the beginning. There are so many other sides of this story. So here's my question for you. So what topic should I dive into next? Maybe comparing Nepalese food to Portuguese food, or maybe family tradition, how family tradition blend and class after moving into abroad, or something else you are curious about. Next video I will be sharing another unique perspective living in between two worlds, and definitely it will surprise you, so make sure you don't miss it out. So hit subscribe, turn on the bell and leave your beautiful comment. Who knows, your suggestion could be my next video. So let's keep this conversation together. Till then, bye bye, namaste and at the logo.